Good evening, everyone, and welcome to day number 8, our final day in this our practical health class, Gospel Medical Missionary Health class, and we are going to pray to begin. Our dear Heavenly Father, we want to give you thanks for your love and your mercies towards us. Thank you for carrying us thus far in this week and also to the end of this classes. I pray that your Holy Spirit will be in our midst and that we will learn of you and be closer drawn to you and to each other. Continue to guide us in all that we do. In Jesus' wonderful name I pray. Amen. All right, so in this, our final class, for now, we will be cooking. All right, we'll be cooking. And we will specifically be showing you a couple ways in which you can utilize a particular ingredient. And that ingredient is one that is very popular here in Jamaica and many other parts in the world because it's easy to utilize in a particular way, right? That is to, make porridge or have as a cereal. But we want to show you different ways that we can use this ingredient, which is oats. Right? Or oats. And so we will be doing a few simple recipes in how we can incorporate oats in our meals. And we know that oats is a grain that is very nutritious for us. It's good for heart health. It's good to regulate your blood sugar. And it's also rich in fiber, so when you use it, when you eat it, or when you eat things made from oats, you will find yourself feeling fuller and you won't get hungry as easily, right? And of course, there are many other benefits. And as we would have also shown how we can utilize it externally, by putting it in our soaps and so on. Now we are going to utilize it internally. And so our first recipe, or first thing that we will be making with oat is flour, oat flour. And oat flour is one of the things that are very expensive in the supermarkets. I would say it's ridiculously expensive because there's not much to it. But before I go into the oat flour, I also want to mention that for some persons, because of their health condition, they may find a sensitivity to oats, right? If they're having sensitivity to wheat, usually they will also have a sensitivity to oats as well. And it's not necessarily because anything is wrong with the oat, but it's because of the what's going on in their body. And at times, though oat is gluten-free, sometimes it's manufactured it's processed rather in facilities that also process wheat, and so there may be some cross-contamination. So if you're ill, you may want to ease up off the oats, not because something is wrong with it, but because your body is reacting because it's in a sensitive state. All right, so to make our oat flour, all we need is a blender and the oats. So we have different types of oats, meaning how it is cut. Right, so this is, anyone want to get what type of oats this is? No one? instant. And this one, yes, roll. Right, so for the instant oats, this one is good to make flour because it's almost refined already. Some persons, well, if you're going to make porridge, some persons like to use this one. But for persons who don't like smooth porridge, because this is going to get pretty smooth, right, the roll oats is a much better option because it will remain whole in a sense, right? And also, like if you're going to make dumpling or certain things, you can just add the liquid to this and let it stay a little, and then add whatever else you're going to add to it, and that will be fine. So you don't necessarily have to blend it out if you're going to combine it to make certain things. You can just add your liquid and the other ingredients, and that will be fine. So I'm going to simply add, I don't need a measurement unless, well, if you're going to make a recipe that calls for oats flour, then you can grind it and then you measure it. So I'm putting a cup. I'm not going to put, you don't want to put a whole lot in it. I could put a half a cup more, but because it will take longer to grind, and then you will have to do it much longer and shake and, all right, so I'm going to simply grind. And it's pretty done. You could go again if you want it super fine. If you really want it super, super fine, you could just sieve it, right? And that's basically it. Oat flour in practically 15 seconds. Right, so that's how easy it is to turn your oats into flour, and then you can bottle it or bag it. Putting it in a jar is much more convenient. So this is it, oat flour, right? And then you could combine this with whether you're going to make a cake or bread or dumpling or a little thickener, or what else could we do with this? What else could we do with it? You can combine it with other flour smoothie. Okay. Well, if you're going to make this, if you're going to make smoothie, right? If you're going to make smoothie, you don't need to turn it into the flour, right? Unless you're making your regular smoothie and it needs a little thickening, you can add a tablespoon of the oat flour and add a little body to it. All right.
Bread as well.
Yes, you can make your bread. All right. The next one we're going to do is our milk, and I could have. Right. I'm going to start with the oats. So half a cup. Thanks. Half cup. So a cup of water. And so it's always best to make your own things at home. I'm going to put a cup and a half. Because when they make, especially milk, you should blend this and let it stay, put it in a bottle, close the bottle, and let it stay until tomorrow without refrigerating it, and see what happens. If nothing happens, let it stay 2 days, and then see what happens. And if nothing doesn't happen, which I'm sure you will see some difference, So when you buy a milk in a carton box, and especially when you see a very long expiration date on it, and it's being kept, you should ask yourself, how is that possible? Can't find my measuring spoon. Oh, thanks. Right? How is it able to keep on the shelf that long? Especially coconut. When I blend coconut milk, and within 2 hours, if I have that on the table, it starts to go. Coconut, well, maybe I don't have good chances with coconut milk, but it spoils very easily. So I would never, it doesn't tighten. It's not able to tighten. So these are things that we should consider. How can something that when you make it at home with just your 2 or 3 ingredients, it spoils so easily, but the one that they have on the shelf, it's long lasting. Right, because it has preservatives, and these preservatives are doing ill to our bodies. So we want to move away, because it's very simple to make our own milk. Very simple. Right? You just need water and oat or nut or seed. Right. I could put a little coconut oil. So you can vary the flavoring of your milk. You can also vary the consistency. If you don't want it too thick or too thin, you have the choice to do so. So it's just the oat, the water, and a little, right, basically a pinch of salt. And I am going to add just a little sweetener. Right, you can add like your carob powder. You can add a little ginger powder or the ginger itself. You can add a little turmeric. And yeah, make it into different types of milk, different flavor milk. I mean, they have strawberry flavored milk, they have vanilla, they have chocolate, so you can do your thing. Huh?
What kind of milk is turmeric?
Turmeric milk. Turmeric oat milk. What if you have arthritis and you are intaking turmeric? That can be a better way to intake it. Or just, to help boost your immune system. Yes, and because turmeric is a very strong taste, so it's nice to pair it with something creamy, and it's better absorbed when it has. They would tell you that you have to use the black pepper, but you can actually use the coconut milk, and it will help it to be better absorbed. Strain. Oh, I'm not going to strain. I'm not going to strain. And you can strain it if you want. I don't strain my milk. But some persons strain it. So this is a good consistency for granola or whatever. Right? But you can make it thicker if you want. And the thing about this, you can just turn it into a sauce. You can add your onion, your bell pepper, your garlic, and turn it into a sauce. Or you can utilize this milk to do other things. Please. Right, so I'm just going to pour this in. As I say, you can strain it, you can blend it if you want it more refined. Thanks. You can also mix it with, cashew or sunflower or pumpkin or anything like that. So you can vary your milk again. If you don't want to put turmeric in your milk, you can put cashew. You can put pumpkin milk, carrot milk, or so on. Right. So before we go into our next one, I'm just going to, since I have the milk, I'm just going to show you another thing that we can make from oats, which is our granola. So for those of us who love cereal, but one of the things, as I read the labels in the supermarket, one of the things that, right, so this is granola. Let me say that first. And when I look at the granola labels in the supermarket, some of the things that are contained in it are corn, high fructose corn syrup, which is not good for our system. And also baking soda is in some of the granola cereal, along with vanilla, vinegar, okay, probably to get this softness to it, that softness. Vanilla, the alcohol. Are we certain that they use the non-alcohol one?
I'm just saying generally speaking.
Generally speaking, okay. So they may have the alcoholic vanilla in it, which more than likely that's what they will use. So there is the non-alcoholic vanilla. I'm not so familiar with that, hence why I didn't really mention it. I just know that, the ones that in the supermarket that I'm used to, they have vanilla. They have alcohol. All right, so yeah. So the granola is very simple to make. You get your oats, whether the roll or the instant, and you put it in a bowl, and you add your dry nuts. You can chop some almonds, and your raisins, pumpkin seeds, sunflower. You don't have to, those are optional. And then you need something to bind it together. You can use a nut butter, or you can just blend some nuts, or even some of the oats in a little water to bind it together. Or you can use a sweetener along with, you can use molasses and so on, anything to really bind it together. And you can also add a little salt to bring out the flavor more in the granola, right? And then you combine it together, not too liquidy, just to hold a little, just to moisten it and hold it together a little. And then you spread it out on a tray. If you don't, this is a good enough depth. You don't want it to be too thick because it's going to bake like a cake. You want it with, air passing, heat passing through and so on. And you bake it on a low flame. And you stir it from time to time until it gets crisp. You don't have to wait until it gets super crisp, right? Because as it cools, it will get a little bit more cripsier. Right? And the thing about this is that it's lasting. Once there's no moisture in it, once you get it well toasted and there's no moisture in it, it can last you the least 2 weeks. I've never had it beyond that, but I know that it will last. It will last a good time. Right? If needs be, you can refrigerate it afterwards. Right? So you can make it. I usually make and put them in jars like these, and they're very what do you call it? they're very good for grab and go, right? So there are times when you may not have the time to prepare a meal, whether for breakfast or dinner or whatever, or supper. You can just pour some granola, add your milk, and also, just cut up some fruits in it, and that's it, right? So we have our milk. Oh, wow. So I'm just going to add and well, this wants some more milk, right? So, the thing about oat as well, so if you make it a little thin, don't worry yourself, it will thicken because that's it with oats, right? So if you don't want it too thick and you're going to put it on the fridge, don't make it as thick. Make it with a little thin consistency so that as it sits, it won't get too thick. So this, right, so here we have our granola. You could add your fruits. I forgot to cut my papaya. Let me just cut it. Where are the gloves? Your turn now. Let me just. And you also have control over the sugar content when you make your own granola. So if you prefer your granola not to be super sweet, then you can have control over that. And you can also, what is nice in granola? Toasted coconut. So a few seeds are in it, which is fine. Right, so adding coconut is very nice, very nice. Right, so here we have our granola. And so the next one that we're going to do is our chickpea oat nugget. Right, and the thing about this is that you can use the oat just by itself, and then you can shred or grate carrots in it, and then add your seasoning and form them and, cook, and you can have your oats ball. But my sister here, she'll be adding chickpea to it. Good afternoon, everyone. Mike.
So today, we'll be doing a simple chickpea oat nugget. Very simple. All right, so here I did a little butter here before, Here it is, chickpea, oats, and I put some seasoning in it, like onion, garlic. They're all organic. And for this, you don't need a lot. You can roll it. So you can, I blended the oats and I cooked and crushed the chickpea. So if you don't have a blender for the chickpea, you can use the thing, I don't remember the name of it, and crush it, a masher, and you can mash it. For the oats, you can use the instant oats. You don't have to blend the instant oats. And you bind them together. And here, whatever shape you want, you can make a ball, but today we're going to do nuggets. So as I say, you can form the nuggets and dip it in some breadcrumb. You can have your sheet. I have the sheets. You can have the sheet, the baking sheets, and you lightly grease it, or you can do it just as, place them on it, and you put them in the oven. Or you lightly grease a pan, and you call it pan fry. So you have this the stove turning down low, and you can cover it. You can get a steam if you do. So we do have some here that was done in the pan. These are pan done, and these were baked. Now it depends on how you do them. You can do them moist, or you can do them very dry. These were dried, and they have this cookie texture. So you can make a dip or a sauce for these. Now all you need for these you get your pan, you get your oats, and as I said, you use the instant oats. You don't have to blend. If you have a blender, yes, but if you don't, you use the instant oats. What I should have done was to crush the chickpea first. However, it doesn't matter. So the stock from the chickpea can be used to moisten the oats. So these were cooked. You soak your peas overnight. And then you place them in your desired stainless steel pot. When you soak them, you rinse them about 3 times. You can do 2 to 3 rinses. And then you get fresh water, put them in your pot. You may add a little salt to taste. You can put your desired seasoning. Some people like garlic, onion, whatever you desire. And you cook. You cook it very soft. It's best for you to cook it on a very low flame. Now we know chickpeas have fiber, and it has protein, and you can name the different nutrients that God has placed in it for us to enjoy and for us to have proper nutrients. Now many people you can add your pumpkin seed. If you choose, you may grind your pumpkin seed, your flax seed, your chia seed. You can add some toasted coconut trash. Yes, it depends on your taste and your preference. But this is just a basic one, a very simple one. And I'm still crushing the peas. It's best to crush the peas when the peas are hot. You get it crushing easier. It smells really nice because the peas were cooked in seasoning. Also, You can do your onion, your garlic, and your scallion naturally. You can steam them to get some flavor and blend them. And then you pour in. You can also use your red bell pepper, which has a nice flavor. And I'm cleaning up this masher. Now God gave us two hands, so we use the hand and we knead in. So here's a little toasted coconut. You can put a little in it. As I said, it's your choice, if you want, for your preference. The peas were cooked with salt, so I wouldn't add any more salt to this. Now, if it's too soft and you want it a little harder, you add a little more oats. You can also use, as I said, if you have oat flour, almond flour, anything at all, but don't add too much things. This is a little softer than, the one that is in the dish, but it can work.
If you shape it and then put it to rest, it will firm up more.
What I normally do, especially if I'm not doing it to refrigerate and I have to use it same time, what I do, I make this, put it in the fridge for a little while. Not very long because I don't want it frozen. So you put it in the fridge, you don't want it too hard. It will get a little cool and a little harder. And then now, you shape your balls or you do your nuggets. I prefer nuggets.
Or burgers.
Or you can do your burgers. You can spread it out and you have a glass thing and you shape your burger. Very nice. So you pan fry these. So you grease the pan a little. Stick it in for the oil. So as I said, this one is a little softer than, and I did add some turmeric to this one. So if you notice, the color is a little different. And the oil smells really nice. It's coconut oil, natural coconut oil. So you make them, well, I would make a variety, and then then I put the oil on. So I won't have the delay in some frying, leave some. So I'd make a variety first, the amount that can hold in the pot. And you can try and get them at the same size. But for now, I don't think I'll get all of them the same size and shape. Takes a little while. You can also use your lentils with your oats. And I know we have some very good cooks here. And you'll be able to add your season of choice and taste. These are already blended seasoning. As I said, onion, garlic. We have basil in it. Tomato, quite a number of herbs. And you know the herbs were given to us for food also.
Right, I'm thinking that this could make dumplings,
Yes.
right? Because it has the oat to hold it. So you would just
Make some
boil
chickpeas
it.
oats dumpling.
Right.
Or if you want, you can shred some carrots also in it. Or your pumpkin, you know. As I said, that has in the turmeric. And those will give it a different color also and flavor.
Make it in a ball. Make it in a ball and flatten it.
Ball.
And flatten it.
This is a little softer. You see, it's stuck into the
Like put that
glove.
not too flat, not too flat.
So this is a small burger.
Too flat.
A small burger for little Sky, Michaela, and my little friend there,
Joel.
Joel.
Sorry.
Okay, so there you have a mixture of burger and nuggets.
Another one more. Right. Put this into that. All right. So while the burgers and the nuggets are being done, we are going to move on to our Alright. Yes. Yeah. They're not ready. They're not ready because it's slow. Alright, so while they are pan baking, we will now do our we're just going to do our mix. We're going to do our waffle. We're going to do our waffles. A bring frying pan? A bring frying pan? A bring frying pan? Okay, it's fine. All right. So, come on, it's fine. I'm going to add a half a cup of oats. And again, when you're blending, it's better to just use the instant. I'm going to add a banana. These are washed already. The one that you were using. And because I'm adding the banana, I don't need to add what? Right, I don't need to add sugar. Or sweet, yeah. I don't need to add any other sweetener. I'm going to add because I turned it down low. You can let them crisp up some more because I turned it down low. Which is about 1/8 or just a pinch of waffle. And when we have children, it's good to make things a little fun for them. So I'm going to turn it into carob waffles, which is about a tablespoon of carob. I'm going to add a teaspoon of flax.
measuring right now.
All right, I'm going to measure. I'm going to add a cup of water. And then I'm going to blend. So usually I will let this sit a little bit and let it thicken up a little bit. I'm gonna have to show it. But because of time, I'm not going to wait. So I'm going to add a tablespoon more of oats just to get it a little thicker. All right, 2 tablespoons. Because I'm going to use it for something else. I should have blended 2 cups. Right, so I'm just going to brush a little oil on the waffle maker so they don't stick. Oh, that's a lot.
And there's a nice aroma coming from the chickpea, oat chickpea baguettes. The flame is very low, and you have a choice if you want to make it crispy or soft.
All right, right. So I'm now going to add. You have to remember that your waffle maker is hot. I always get burned from it. Right, so I'm going to add. You can use a tablespoon and do some measurement, and this is a very small one. This is a very small one, and I'm going to close and let that cook. All right. I'm going to use the blender. Do you have a blender? Oh, do you? LeBron? Yes. Thanks. All right, so in the meantime, we're going to do crepes, but in the meantime, I'll do another one. So we're going to do oats in a very different way that we are not used to. Who likes fried rice? So we're going to do stir-fry oats. She said what? All right, so I have a cup of roll oats. We don't want the quick oats for this one because we don't want any mushiness. So we are using the roll oats. Oh, I forgot to mention that it's advised and best to toast our oats right? Because eating the oats straight from the package is like eating raw rice, right? So it's best to toast it before else we will suffer a lot of digestive issues, right? So you can just lay out your oats on a tray. What I do is I spritz it with a little water to moisten it a little. So it's not just, for me, I think it makes more sense that way, to moisten it so it's like steam baking, and then it dehydrate again, and I know it's fine. So I have done that to these. And what I'm doing now is I soaked a cup of the rolled oats in a little water just to rehydrate it a little. And now I'm going to strain off the liquid. All right, so I strain off the liquid. I'm going to heat up my pot. I'm going to add a little oil. We're not frying, we're just moistening the pot. Right? So it's just a little, just to moisten it.
Greasing.
Right, greasing. Yes, thank you, greasing. Grease it. Right.
For these, you can also cover the pot. You get them steamed, then you remove the cover if you want them to be crispier.
Right. So we're going to stir fry some seasonings, and again, it's up to you, whatever you want to add. It's another spoon. Spoons. Where spoons? Spoon. This one. So I'm adding some sliced onions and some red bell pepper. Red bell pepper is or sweet pepper. It's one of the best things. They're very, very tasty. So I'm just stir frying that a little. You stir fry it until they start to look palish, lighter in color, so you get out all the flavor, translucent. Yeah. Add in my garlic.
Sister Kay, can you say why you add the garlic last?
LeBron said it burns quicker.
LeBron says when he's... Okay. I noticed you add the garlic last. Is there a specific reason you did so?
Not hearing it. He's saying repeat.
So, Brother Gordon is saying when you add the garlic first, it burns quicker. But my preference when I'm cooking, I put the garlic first, and I keep stirring, and then I add the onion and the scallion or whatever, and then I get a nice scent coming up, that garlic scent, but it doesn't burn. It just look a little brown. That's how I like it. But everybody has a different preference. You do it how you like it. As long as the food is prepared clean and it can be relished, it's fine with me.
And
everybody has a different style of cooking.
Right, you basically said the other thing, that the one that you add first actually gives it more potency. The dominant flavor that you'd like, you add that first. And that's usually the one that you realize is more potent. And in this scenario, it gives you that nice aromatic garlic flavor and so forth, yeah.
And not, well, in addition to that, so you can add your seasoning, initially, but to also reap some of the, certain foods, when you cook them, they lose some of the properties. So what you can do is like adding additional, whether garlic or so, when you finish cook it, you cover the pot and let it lightly steam.
Right.
Or if you want to eat them raw, you can just add it to it after you finish cooking. So you're reaping flavor and also health benefits. So I'm now adding my oats. So it's soaked and drained. I'm adding it to the sauteed seasonings.
Did you add salt to the oats?
No, I forgot. Right.
So
it's good that It's good that you ask that. It's better to add the salt to the oats while you're soaking it. So you want to keep stirring it. Don't want it mushy. Add a little more. Because oats take a lot of salt. Mm-hmm.
And this is your pink Himalayan salt.
So try to drain off as much of the water as possible. You don't want it to get mushy. And if you have your favorite sauce, you can always add your little sauce to it. I'm getting a little mushiness here. More, but it's fine. You could also add a little turmeric to get a little color. Turmeric inside. The medical missionary pan. In the medical missionary pan. In the medical missionary pan. No, inside. In the medical missionary one. Right, so as I say, it's key to ensure that you don't soak it in a whole lot of water, and you also drain off the water as much as possible so it don't get too mushy. You want it to be shelly. So I'm just going to keep stirring till it's not on.
Is it supposed to be like a substitute for your veggies or your rice
your grains?
What is it? Oh, your grains.
Right. So you would then eat this with your ackee or your curry chickpea or your stewed black bean. You're eating it in the place of rice or your dumpling. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Because remember that oats is a grain. It's a starchy grain. Yeah, that's enough. So just as how you would, stir fry your rice, you can do this just the same. So you have to keep stirring because I don't want it to get mushy.
Sister Kaydian, apart from the herbs, the tomato, the bell pepper, garlic, and onion, could we add a little more of our desired powdered
Right.
herbs,
Right.
natural herbs like our basil and all of those things.
Right. Or you can do it with your vegetable as well. You can make it a one pot stir fry. So you saute your carrot and your cabbage, your broccoli. Oh, this one is too thin. And so on, and then you stir fry it and then add your oats. Oh.
It looks so natural. You'll enjoy it.
Okay.
Well, two questions. What is being made there with the oats?
Stir fry oats.
Stirred fried oats.
Yes.
And this is a replacement for the rice,
Right.
for the stir fried rice.
Not a replacement per se, but an option.
An option.
Right.
And the reason for this would be to, is it
Just add variety to your taste bud.
Oh, variety. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Just utilizing the oats in a different way, in an unusual way that actually works. I know, Brother Barrett will say no. He said no to the mango in the soap. Yeah, I know Sister Fallon. Yeah, Sister Fallon said no to this. Brother Barrett said no to the soap, the mango in the soap. Sister Fallon said no to the oats with her bell pepper. Right, so once again, don't soak your oats too long. You don't want it to get soggy. So I think this is good enough now. I'm going to add some corn.
Could we also do carrots?
Yes, as I was saying, you
And
can
string
add
beans or green peas?
whatever you would do your stir. I'm not adding a little parsley. Whatever you would do your stir fries with, your fried rice with, you can also do that. All right, so we're done. We're done. We forgot our scallion to add a little green, but that's fine. And for some persons, especially when they're your friend, your good friends, or your family member, you will have to prepare the meal and let them taste it. Then you tell them what it is, you know. Because, right, and the mind is a very power, we know the power of the mind. So once they say oats, no. But once you let them taste this and tell them what it is, and they say, this tastes good. And then you say it's oats. Well, you already say it tastes good. Right, so, yeah. It's not a deception. It's just, you know, right. All right, so our waffle, this one should be ready. Ooh. This one is very thin. So this waffle is super thin. So here we have our first waffle. It's very thin because my waffle maker is a very thin waffle maker, very small waffle maker. All right. The next one that I'm going to do is we're going to do dumplings. I wonder if I should still do the dumpling. No? Time? Okay. So the dumpling is basically, let me just explain it then. You have your anything. I have pumpkin here, boiled pumpkin. So what I would do is crush the pumpkin. Well, I'm not going to boil it, I'm just going to demonstrate it. Let me do that part. Let me use this. So I have my pumpkin. It's already boiled. I'm going to crush or mash. Or you could just add your cornmeal. You could just combine your cornmeal and your cornmeal and your oat flour. You could make the oat flour just by itself. Dumplings. I'm going to add a little salt. And then to this I'm going to add my oat flour. And there's really no measurement. There's no measurement. You will, as you need, you will see if it's too sticky. And because I'm using pumpkin, I'm mixing in the pumpkin first to see if I need to add any added moisture. So I may not need to add water. So it's not taking long, Sister Manning. I may still cook it. I'll finish kneading it, so I'll just put it on just the same. So I don't need to add any water because the moisture from the pumpkin is good enough. If I was using the cornmeal now with the oats, right, you can use a carrot, you can steam some callaloo and add it. It's just adding variety to your meal. Especially when you have children, every day you're giving them white dumpling. Or if they don't like pumpkin, the taste may not be so overpowering this way. You can put it in the dumpling. See, a very beautiful color. All right, you can rinse out this one and half it with the water. So I already know how to form dumplings. The easiest way to form dumpling. Right, Didi? The easiest way is just roll. Right? Simple. You don't have to be doing this way, Didi. Right, that way is a little bit more technical. Right? Just roll and press. What you want? Oh, I should have called you to make it for me, Didi, right? Didi could have been doing it while doing something else. So we're just gonna put some water to boil and then we put it in. See? Very pretty, right? All right, so I'm going to quickly do another one. Put a little salt. All right, so while this is boiling, remember we put dumpling in. We put dumpling in cold or hot water, cold or boiling water. Why boiling? Right, so if you put it in the cold water, it's going to Right, it's going to basically dissolve into the water. You can take out those now. Right. Hmm? Oh, nice. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to make crepe. Anyone know what is crepe?
Crepe? Are you making the crepes?
Yeah. It's not long. Anyone know what is crepe? You're not putting it on the plate. Please, here. Anyway. So for our crepes, I'm using 1 cup. I'm going to do a half cup because I don't want to have all that mixture to still get rid of. You can clean it out for me when you finish, please. You can clean it out for me when you finish. This, the pot. When you finish. I'm adding. Thanks. Thank you. So for the crepe, you can, if you're making a savory crepe, then you can add your garlic powder or your onion or so. But if you're making a sweet crepe to have with your breakfast, your fruits, then you can add like banana or your sweetener, other sweetener, or so on. So I'm just going to make a regular one. So I have half cup of oats and a teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to add a half cup of water to that. Again, you can add, as I say, you can add different things. If you want to keep it neutral, then you just do that. So I'm going to blend. And you can also add flaxseed. You can add flaxseed to it as well. So I'm just waiting a moment on the pot and then we... All right, so in the meantime, I'm just going to show you some other things that we have made from oats, which... Right, so we have our bread, oat bread. So the color is from the molasses. I did add, so it's 3 cups of oat flour and a half a cup of spelt. You don't have to add the spelt, you can go straight oat. And 2 1/4 teaspoon of yeast, a tablespoon of sweetener, which is agave. It's the, I don't remember the brand, but it's the rapid yeast. Any one of the yeast, basically. Yes. Yes, as far as we understand, it's fine. And this, once you have certain condition, they take you off all of these things until the body is in a better condition. But as far as we know, it's fine for us to use. And yeast is usually gluten-free. So we'll put the recipes in the description, right? All right. So this is yeasted bread, and let me show you it. So I did cut one to hold this from my face. Hold it from my face. Right. Let me just. Oh. So in Kingston, I don't have an oven. I brought down my I don't have an oven in Kingston, right? So what I did, how did I bake this bread? I steam it on the stove, right? So here it is, right? Right. So I steamed it, and you know the top is going to have a little moisture. So what I did afterwards, I have a drying bag that's meshed. So I put it in there at the window so the sun could finish, and also to help take out some of the moisture and make it a little drier.
And finish baking it.
Right.
Of course.
So that's our oats bread. And it can be made 100% oats as mentioned. Here we have our, once again, no oven, so I steamed. It's our oat cake, or it may be more on the pudding side. See, it doesn't go through as easily as your typical cake. So it's lemon oat. So I use the lemon zest and a little lemon juice. I use the agave. But if you have things like dates, you can always blend that. Raisins. Where are the forks? Oh. So I don't want to touch it right now. So here we have it. I'll touch this one because.
And what is this chocolatey thing on the top?
Oh, it's carob. It's a carob frosting like.
How did you make the carob frosting?
It's just this. So it's more. Sorry, it's more like a. It's not an airy cake. It's more like a pudding cake, like right. Right.
Because it's oats.
Right, and because it's steamed, so you're not going to get. And there's no baking powder, so you're not going to get that light type of cake. But I'm fine with it like this.
And we have to adjust our taste.
Right. So in the frosting, it's just carob powder, a little agave, and a little water. And you can add a little oil as well. No, I didn't add any lemon, but you can squeeze some lemon juice in it. That's fine as well. You can add some ginger powder. That's fine as well. And the next one that we have, just a moment. More forks. That's what I'm going to do. Thanks, because the water boiling. It will be fine. It's just 4.
15 to 20 minutes, it depends.
The oats. Yeah, but you still have to wait for it to soak.
To soak, to cook,
So
really.
So taste palatable enough. It depends on what. If you have cornmeal in it, then you know it go take longer because cornmeal take a longer time to cook. But cassava don't really take long either. So I mean, you know when dumpling cook. Back in the country, we always, you know, test
When it
it
floats.
by tasting it. Yeah, they say
When it floats to the
comes
top.
lighter. Right. Right. So the other one that we have is our oat crackers. Right, or oat crackers. And this is very easy. Very, very easy. You mix your oat flour again with your salt. You can add in your flaxseed powder, or if you want them whole, you know, you can ground some and leave some whole just for texture and all of that. Because, you know, when you eat the flaxseed whole, you don't really get the benefit. So you grind some for the benefits, and you can leave some whole just for texture sake. So you add so your oat flour, your flaxseed, your salt. You can use a little milk for binding it, or you can use the plain water. You can add like your rosemary. If you want to make a savory crackers, you can add your little herbs that you like. You can add garlic powder or the grated garlic to get a garlic cracker. That's very nice as well. Or you can just make it plain. You can also make them bigger. Then you can use it, you can put your butter, or your homemade butter or your cheese on it, or so on, or just, eat it with your ackee. Right, you can make a dip for it and so on. And you just roll it out thin, score them, and bake them, right? But you have to watch them because it's thin, right? All right, so we have our pot. Again, I'm just going to lightly grease my pan. Just a fan. All right. So I have one more after this, and then, all right, just so we don't wait, oh, this is thick. You don't have to. Just put these and a half a cup of oats, a quarter cup of oats. Don't put all of the bell pepper. Use half of the bell pepper, quarter cup oats. All right, so my crepe mixture has gotten a little thick. Remember, so when you mix oats and put it down, it starts to get thicker. So you have to where are the spoons? You have to use it right away, or don't make a lot at a time, and that way you will maintain its consistency. Usually when I'm making crepes, I do a batch at a time. I don't make a whole. I don't make the entire batch one time. I make a portion at a time. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pour. And this is a very big frying pan. But if you want a very big crepe, then you can use the entire surface. And you're just going to swirl it around. It's similar to a pancake. It's an Italian or French. I think it's an Italian style pancake. Yeah. Right. So if I put this beside the heat, it's going to. Mm-hmm. Is this a use? Put one more. So I'm just going to let it stay and set, bake, and then I flip it. And the next one we're doing at the same time is our oat cream sauce, cream dressing, whatever you want to call it. You can even turn it into a cheese by making it thicker, adding the arrowroot starch, or for those who use agar. Yeah. They say mess with the brain. They say mess with the brain, so I don't. It's a neurotoxin. And then I'm going to blend. Tasty.
Sister Kaydian, what's inside the sauce mixture?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention it. So, we forgot that about dumpling, eh? Especially oats dumpling. Huh? Yes. Thanks. So bell pepper, garlic, red bell pepper, garlic, onion. You add salt, oats, and a little salt. And you just blend. You can add cashew if you want. Oh, I must add lemon. The lemon juice changes things so wonderfully. Right. Sorry? Oh, it really just give it this, as I say, kick, like a kick. It adds like a cheesy kind of flavor. The lemon juice. Right. And it also helps to thicken the thing when it if you add coconut oil in it, it helps to I don't want the seed to go in it, so I'm just. And then it depends on how much you want to add in it. Let them cook more, man. Let them cook some more. Where's add a small quantity of this. It's not ready. I don't want it to burn. So you can make your sauce thicker. You prefer it thicker? Let's make it. Yes, sorry. No, we don't have to add arrowroot. What? Or should I add the cashew? It's more like a dressing. So if you want it to be a dressing, that would be fine. You can add it to your pasta. You can add it to your mashed potato or your diced potato to make a potato. If you're making potato salad, you can add it to your ackee. You can add it to your peas, your lentil. Stuff like that. Pour it in, please. Let them see the consistency. There's a lot of things. Oh, this one is.
Pouring.
It still looks runny, but it's fine.
It will harden its oats.
So, my thing, whenever I'm making these stuff, the first one always gives trouble. So I'm going to scratch this one. Huh?
Turn the can.
No, it's just scattering. So I'm going to scratch that one and pour another one. All right. So
do you think that you needed like a binder or something so that it doesn't crumble
for the oats?
for the crepe?
No, because I always do it and it holds together. But for me, the first one always just kind of mess up. Yeah, the first one always kind of because the oat itself bind the oat bind itself, right? So as it heat, it will come together. All right, what we have here? Oh, sorry, I don't have it. I can't find it. Yes. For this, put it on the flat and then just put that all right. All right, so we're basically finished. It's just this now. So this one is real crispy. This one.
This one is pretty.
Huh? Yeah, because the first one was too thin.
So this is our waffle. Waffle. Made from oats. Oats and carob.
Yeah, that's a carob one. So these feel soft. Yeah, but they feel soft. It's not ready to turn it. It's not ready. No, the crepe. Shorter. Any question or anyone wants to share what they make with oats? Anyone wants? Okay.
Granola, porridge, dumpling,
So these were washed already.
oats and milk,
Oats and what?
milk
Oh,
with almond and walnut and sunflower seed and pumpkin seed in it. So it's like
right. And another option for the granola, if you don't want to go through all the process for making the granola, you can just toast the oats. So this is already toasted. So you can just add your pumpkin seeds, your sunflower seed, your raisins, or whatever, and just shake it and use it as it is. They call, I don't remember, I don't know. I told them, right.
and you can add shredded coconut.
Right, we mentioned, right. It makes it very, very nice. And when you're using, so if you toast the instant oats, this is what I do, because sometimes my coconut milk spoil. As I mentioned before, I may delay a little in putting it on the fridge. And then Sabbath morning, I don't have any coconut milk. So what we usually do is, once you pour the water on this and you add your sweetener, and just let it stay a little, it creates its own milk. And that's good enough. It works. Right? So you don't have to worry that you don't have milk. Remember that this makes its own milk, which we did here.
And coconut milk cannot spoil.
Yes. So what happened to mine?
If it cannot use to make the whatever you're using, you can take that cream off and you get and make oil.
It spoiled for me when I want to drink my milk. It spoiled. Is that Yeah. Huh? Yeah, that's now cheese, and I'm consumed not to eat cheese.
What is cheese? I mean, what is now cheese?
Oh boy, this thing is giving me I don't know what's going on here.
Then I use coconut milk and make cheese, no? Yeah, that's like cow's milk.
Once it curdles, it forms what is called that cheese, as we know cheese to be.
You cannot make a good coconut oil unless it curdle. Yeah, but you just set it and let it curdle. You don't have to put it in the fridge or anything. Just put it down and all the cream comes to the top. And then you take it off.
We know cheese
That's
is
not
cheese, but we
curdle.
can use cashew to make cheese. We can use other things to make cheese.
Even the
It's
oat.
just the thought of the dairy itself that we're not supposed to consume.
All right. All right. Okay, so that's basically it. Yeah, for today. Sorry. All right. So just let me just a moment. Any other questions? Or any other comments? No. All right. I just wanted to show you how the crepe rolls, how it rolls together. The crepe is a very wonderful, it's a very wonderful thing to do because then you can just add any filling to it, any filling, and it works wonderful for Sabbath lunch or when you're on the go. Or sweet, right? And because oats, it may be a little moist inside. So when I make mine, I again have my little mesh. I have one of those huge mesh baskets. So what I'll do them and then lay them on a tray and let them rise. Or you can always put them in the oven and let them just dry out a little. And it's very wonderful and then you can freeze them. Right, so when you're ready, you just warm up and that's it. It's like it's burning it's just because I'm rushing it, just for showing sake. So, yeah, turn it down. So that's basically it. You can make it bigger. You can make it very much bigger so you get a bigger roll. Or you can just like this. So because it's right, it's used as a wrap. So it's just different names. I'll turn it on. Oh, thanks. And you can use this as a bread substitute as well. And then I'll just use my hand. So you see, this one is a very small crepe. Usually I make them a little bigger so they can hold more stuff in and give a proper roll.
Just scrape out some of the ackee and take off and slice it to make it say it down work.
It will hold. It's tearing.
Scrape out.
That can't work.
It don't have to be, it could be like a taco, and it could
Right.
not. Just hold it like this.
And it's burning.
Yeah, you don't have to close it.
Right, let me half close it.
Yeah.
But tear, man.
No man, just to show. Just to show. Alright, let me take off some of these now. Alright. So we are basically finished. Just go back over the items quickly. Take out some of these. Oh, I didn't do it. Thanks.
So another 50 cans, some still.
All right, so we have our chickpea oat nuggets and burgers. We have our stir fry oats. We have our oat waffle. We have our oat milk. We have our oat flour, our oat cracker, our oat granola. Soak up all the milk already. That's another thing to know when you're making your granola, have extra milk because it always soak up. We have our oat dumpling. We have our oat sauce. We have our oat sauce, our oat bread, steamed bread, our oat cake, steamed cake, and we also have our oat crepe. Right, so that's all that we have. And just to go back over some of the things that we made throughout the week. On Sunday, the first Sunday we made, what did we make?
Soap.
Right, our soap, neem, neem
Which one?
and olive.
Which one?
Right, the bottom part is neem and olive, not olive, aloe vera. The top is turmeric. This one here is also neem and aloe vera.
This one?
No, right. The one in the middle is coconut milk and the one in, yeah, that's the neem and aloe vera. The one in the middle is a coconut milk and oat. So, yes. And on Sunday, we also made our hair oil, which is made from neem again, cerasee, fever grass, moringa, coconut oil, shea butter, beeswax. Well, on Monday, we did we don't have our salve. We did make our eucalyptus salve, right? Not eucalyptus, mental crystal salve, I'm sorry. Right? We did our medical missionary bags. We did our body cream and lotions. We did our deodorants, our lip balm, our body mist, and and of course our granola and our gardening. We should have had a plan from our garden, right? All right, so that's basically it for right. So we are very thankful to God for the opportunity that we have to learn together, to learn from each other, to learn something new. Yesterday I learned how to, I forgot about yesterday. I learned how to open a coconut jelly, right, with a stone, right? That was wonderful. That was a new skill learned theoretically. I'm now to practice it, right? We want to thank God for the opportunity. As I said, that while we have the opportunity, we should make use of it to learn. Because as we learn, what do we then become? Teachers, right? As we practice these things, we are to then teach it to others so that they too can learn. And that's how the gospel, even the gospel of health, will be spread, which, the whole plan of salvation is the gospel of health, right? Because we are all sick. We are all sin sick. So it's the gospel of health. All right? And we look forward to the many other opportunities as we see time is running out that God is bringing into our somebody. God is bringing into our I'm sorry. Right. God is giving us these opportunities now. We need to make use of it before we don't have them. All right? And we are truly thankful to Him for time to learn these things and for those who, participated. And, God is truly wonderful to us. And we thank Him for the skills that He has given us. And we are not to harbor them because they are not ours, right? We are stewards. And I pray that we will share even the little that we would have learned. All right? Yes?
Yeah, during this evening's exhibit, I've noticed, I'm not sure if it's intentional, but the main focus has to do with cooking and meal preparation and so forth. But incidentally, these products, which are for the external, are also here. And what came to mind is that both the external and internal are here present for our bodies, both for internal use and for external use. And my question is, what would be the end goal, having to do with the human body still, but what would be the end goal? Why do we use the external and why would we use the internal in regards to our body? What do we want to be clear?
Right. Usually when we are, specifically when we are not well, the first thing we think about is our diet. And so we try to fix the diet. And, we have been miseducated in a sense where we think that the medical missionary work is only about the diet, right? And so we may adjust the eating habits and so on, but that may not be sufficient, as we would have highlighted that the things that we are putting on our skin, in our hair, right, it is also impacting our health. And so while we address the inside, we also want to address the outside, the exterior, because the skin is the largest organ, and it comes under much pressure at times because of what we are doing externally. So we are trying to fix in the inside, but we are neglecting the outside. So we are trying to, balance everything, that while we help the inside, we also assist the exterior as well. For instance, somebody may have, acne. They're suffering from severe acne. So the first thing that they may do is, try to get some turmeric soap to clear up the acne. So we said, that's not sufficient. You're going to always have acne. So it may clear up for a while, but it comes back. So we may advise them that, instead of drinking the dairy milk, then, try the oat milk, the homemade oat milk, right? Instead of frying, you can pan bake. I just see we lightly grease the pan. We didn't deep fry, right? You can advise them, instead of using the sugar, which contributes to acne as well, you can tell them about the agave, or just as how we made the waffle without refined sugar, we just use the banana. So it's just to show persons that instead of just addressing the external, and on the other side, we may advise them how to change your diet and so on, but they have all of these marks. Then we can also recommend something to help the exterior to clear up the skin and so on, to remove the spots and so on. So it's to balance everything. And when we look at Christ, the gospel is balance, right? Christ did not neglect any part in anything that he was doing. So we have to, come from all ends when we're concerning health. Right.
Right. So based on that response, it's then a comprehensive, a holistic approach to health, inside, internal, and external, which then would end in mental clarity,
Right.
Holistically, because again we would do this for both, or for our mind, our body, and the soul. Now speaks to that it has that spiritual connotation,
Right, because if the body is not
Right.
in proper health, then we cannot perceive what God is trying to teach us correctly. So as we work in cooperation with him and our health improve, we'll realize that we can grasp spiritual things much better. Right? Alright, so I think we end here now, and I'm going to ask you to pray, Brother LeBron, please.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for this function that you have taken us to. Lord, it is indeed providence that has made way for these events to take place. And Lord, you have provided the means, you have provided the apparatus for us to conduct this event and these events. And we are thankful that we may be edified, in that knowledge may be increased. And consequently, Lord, we will be able to be practical Christians where our health is concerned. Being practical in the kitchen, as today would teach us. And being practical in our hygiene, as demonstrated there on the table, with the different external products to use on the skin. Father in heaven, we ask your blessing continually on your people, on your church, and that we will, as we receive this grace from you, that it too will go forth from us to a dying world. Bless and keep us now, we pray, as this meeting is adjourned. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.